We are coming up on 3 years to the start of the pandemic. Really, if you look about where COVID, first made it to the United States, we're almost there. We know a lot. Like the vaccine doesn't actually keep you from getting COVID or spreading COVID. But that doesn't stop Joe Biden.
So this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated, not the vaccinated, the unvaccinated. That's the problem. And so everybody talks about freedom and not to have a shot or have a test. Well, guess what? So how about patriotism? How about making sure that you're vaccinated so you do not spread the disease to anybody else? What about that? What's the big deal?
The big deal is it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And he keeps saying it.
Virtually every COVID death in America is preventable. Virtually everyone. Almost everyone who will die from COVID this year will not be up to date on their shots, or they will not have taken Paxlovid when they got sick.
So we know it doesn't stop you from getting it or spreading it, but the president is still trying to scare you. My first guest represents Georgia's 9th Congressional District. Representative Andrew Clyde, thanks for joining us.
Andrew, thank you for having me. It's great to be with you.
Okay, Biden keeps saying that Democrats are bringing down the price of prescription drugs because they're sticking it to the pharmaceutical companies. While here we are 3 years later, and they're still saying, go get vaccinated. Let's funnel billions more to the pharmaceutical companies.
I tell you, the president doesn't know how to tell the truth here. I mean, your clips just showed that the president says that if you get vaccinated, you won't get COVID and you won't spread COVID and you need to be patriotic. Excuse me, that's not being patriotic. Patriotism is defending liberty, and liberty doesn't mean medical tyranny. The president just, again, doesn't know how to tell the truth here. He's fear-mongering. I guess the Democrats think that this is good for them prior to November the 8th. But what they need to understand is that the American people, that's not what they care about. They care about inflation. They care about security. They care about, reducing crime. They care about economic issues that impact them individually. The president needs to figure out what message he's actually delivering. Is the pandemic over, like he said a few weeks ago, or is it the greatest national emergency, the world has ever seen, which is about what he said last night?
Yeah, and it doesn't. We know it doesn't stop you from getting or spreading it. And what's even more bizarre, what happened to my body, my choice? Pushing back on government, trying to make decisions about our bodies. The Democrats forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't fit their narrative, Andrew. I mean, their narrative when it comes to abortion is my body, my choice. But when it comes to vaccination, it's you will do what the government demands that you do. You will yield. You will be submissive. And that's just not what America's all about. We fight for liberty. We fight for individualism. We fight for our right to make our decisions and preserve life, protect life. And that's not what big government socialism is all about. But that's what they're about.
I would just like somebody to ask Joe Biden, why do you keep telling us to take something that clearly doesn't work? And I'm surprised they haven't named it the Trump vaccine yet, because, little history here. First, the Democrats said, led by Biden and Harris, Joe Biden said he wouldn't take it. Kamala Harris said she wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take it because of Donald Trump. As soon as they declared victory, they changed their minds. Now everybody has to take it. But we found out that it wasn't as effective as we all thought it was. But still, there's scaremongering. Get in line for your 9th booster.
Oh, absolutely. But, it doesn't seem to impact them when something doesn't work. I mean, what Joe Biden has been doing to the economy doesn't work, but yet they're going down the same path over and over and over again. The fact that it doesn't work doesn't seem to affect the Democrats whatsoever. I mean,
let's talk about the border real quick, because that's another thing. We're back and forth on Title 42. During the lockdown, We were told we couldn't go out. If we did, we had to wear a mask. We had to socially distance. Our kids weren't allowed to go to school. We're going to get into that. Gretchen Whitmer now is all of a sudden saying, I didn't lock down the schools. You have Charlie Crist saying, no, Ron DeSantis locked down the schools. But they never stopped the flow of people coming across the border. As soon as Joe Biden became president of the United States, he said, the heck with that Title 42 stuff. Come on in. So non-citizens can move freely about the country. Americans had to stay put.
Oh, we are seeing a record number of illegal aliens coming across the southern border. I mean, just this year, the Border Patrol put out their stats, which came out Friday night. I think they tried to hide it in the news dump on Friday night. But we are seeing almost 2.4 million illegal alien encounters this fiscal year alone. That's the most number that have ever been recorded. I mean, ever been recorded. And then you have over 600,000 gotaways. You have almost 198 people on the terrorist watch list that the Border Patrol has caught trying to cross our border, not to mention those that they didn't catch. I mean, this is a wide open border. This is lawlessness at the border. And the Biden administration doesn't seem to care one little bit about it. It's bringing every community down to the border, making every community a border community, and bringing illegal aliens across that are doing nothing but damage to this country. And we need to stop that, and we will stop that.
And I was just going to say that, can you outline some of the things a new Congress can do come January, with hopefully the Republicans taking the Senate as well? We have a history. The Republican-led Congress refused to build the border wall when Donald Trump was president. What could Republicans do this time with a Democrat president?
Well, I will tell you that one of the four pillars of our commitment to America is a nation that's secure. And part of that is creating a strong infrastructure across the southern border. Part of that infrastructure is going to be the border wall. And it's also going to be increasing the number of Border Patrol agents. It's going to be making sure that the Remain in Mexico policy is put back in place, because that is what has been helping us significantly to keep illegal aliens out of America, out of the United States. And that's what the Congress can do, and we can do it through the Article 1 authority of the purse. We have the checkbook. We can fund what we want to fund, and we will not fund what we don't want to fund, and that is bringing illegal aliens into the United States. The funding for that has to cease as soon as we regain authority, as soon as the Republicans take back Congress.
And what a crazy idea. If my choice is between funding programs for American citizens or non-citizens, even if I disagree with the funding, I would take American citizens first. I know, crazy, America first.